O'Brien, licensed mental health counselor. I have a practice called Wesley Chapel Counseling in Wesley Chapel, which is a community just north of Tampa. I specialize in working with folks that have trauma usually in their background, PTSD, severe anxiety, OCD, and other related conditions. So many different techniques you can use yourself to work with these symptoms. And in today's video, I'm going to introduce you to what's called EFT tapping. That's Emotional Freedom Techniques tapping routine, most commonly just called tapping. So this tapping is a combination of both the use of psychology and acupressure points. Most of you have heard about acupuncture involving needles, but many of these same points on your body can be stimulated by tapping on them. So in EFT tapping, what you do is you bring to mind something that's bothering you, distressing you, and you keep this on your mind while you're tapping on these acupressure points. When you tap on the points, it sends a message, an electromagnetic message, signal, to a certain part of your brain. It's in the limbic system. And when that part of the brain gets the message from the tapping that everything's okay, the brain in turn will release some chemicals in your system to help you relax. But what's great about tapping is not only does your body relax, the distressing thought that you're bringing to mind or the emotion you're bringing to mind also relaxes and calms down. So it's doing two things at once. Okay, so let me show you how this would work then. You start by bringing to mind something you want to work on, something you're distressed about or an emotion, a thought, and you give it a score, 0 to 10, how distressed you are, with 10 being the worst. And you're going to take that now and put it into the sentence you see on the screen that says, even though I feel whatever it is you're feeling, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's really important to just get really specific about what it is you want to work on in this tapping. So saying something like, even though I'm anxious, I deeply and completely accept myself. So that's too broad, that's too general. Something better would be, even though I feel too scattered to focus on this project, I deeply and completely accept myself. A lot of people with anxiety do have trouble focusing and feel scattered in their mind. So that would be much more specific and a better setup sentence, as you see, as it's called. So even though I feel too scattered to complete this project, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's a big sentence, and it's purposely built in a way that has a level of self-acceptance in the sentence, as you can see. Now, the thing is, you're going to say that sentence 3 times while you're tapping on the first point. And the first point is called the karate chop point. It doesn't matter which hand you use. Most right-handed people tend to go this way with it. Left-handed people tend to do this, whichever one you're comfortable with. But this will be the first point. You'll actually say that sentence 3 times while tapping on your karate chop point. And this is not a really light tap, but you're not really hitting your hand very hard either, okay? It's just something in between. So step 1 would be, even though I feel too scattered to complete this project, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel too scattered to complete this project, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel too scattered to complete this project, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, you don't come back to that big sentence anymore after step 1, and you don't tap on the side of your hand anymore, called the karate chop point. You just leave it alone now that you're done with this step 1. Now we'll move on to the other points. Now you're going to shorten the phrase from the big sentence you used just a second ago, and just take what you put in the blank, like feeling too scattered. Take that shortened phrase and repeat it as you tap on the remaining points that you'll see me do in just a moment here. You're going to do 7 to 8 taps on each point and repeat the shortened phrase. And in this case, we're going to use feeling too scattered. Before I take you through that, let me just show you the remaining points. So one is on the inside of the eye here, not quite on the eyebrow, but just in the curve of the eye. 1 or 2 fingers will for sure hit this spot. This is a real measurable place where electromagnetic energy can be measured. There's a device that actually measures this energy. And the next one will be coming over to the side of the eye, not on the eyebrow, but on the bone right here on the side of the eye. 7 or 8 taps. You'll see what we're going to do with this in just a second. We're going to be adding our phrase to it. Another point that you'll come to is in line with your pupil, high on your cheek. We'll be tapping there. That's a point. The next one's between the nose and the upper lip. There's an acupressure point here. Got a few more. In the crease of your chin, between your lower lip and your chin, right along that crease, that's a point we'll be using. And the next one, I like to do both sides. You could just do one side of your body, by the way. You can come down your left side of everything I just showed you, or your right side. You can do both at the same time. Most people just choose one side. When you get to this point, though, I tend to recommend that you hit both sides of your body. So this is come into the inner part of your collarbone, where you feel those notches come down an inch, then in an inch, and you're on the muscle under your collarbone, okay? And that's a tapping point. Try to pay attention to which one of these you might resonate with. Some people feel one point more than the other. We have 2 more points. This one is about 4 inches under your armpit, in line with the seam of your shirt. If you use 3 or 4 fingers, you're bound to hit it. And then the last point we'll be using is called the gamut point. This is either hand between your ring finger and your pinky. You come down on your hand, just come down between these knuckles here. For the sake of this video, I'm holding up my hand, but I recommend you just put it on your lap and tap on this point. But I'll show you where it is, right here, between those 2 fingers. Okay, it's called the gamut point. It's on the back of your hand. All right, now I'm going to take you with our little phrase. I'm going to take you through all those points. This is step 2 on the slide. Feeling too scattered to focus on this project. Feeling too scattered to focus on this project. You can paraphrase a little bit what you're saying, but don't just suddenly start talking about another thing like depression, okay? Feeling so scattered, don't know if I can finish this project. I changed it a little bit there, that's okay. Feeling so scattered and unfocused, I don't know if I can get this project done. Feeling too scattered to finish this project. I'm so scattered and can't focus, I don't know if I can finish my project. 7 or 8 taps. I'm feeling so scattered, I feel like I can't finish this project. And on the back of the hand, the gamut point. Again, you could just lay your hand on your lap when you do this with this palm side up. It's on the hand, okay, between these 2 fingers. Feeling so scattered and unfocused, I don't think I can finish this project. As you can see on the slide, there are 9 eye movements and suggestions to do while you're on this point. It is optional. I recommend doing it, though. You don't have to always add these 9 elements, but they do get the brain more involved and you get a more powerful effect. So it would be like this. You keep in your mind what it is you're working on. Feeling too scattered to finish this project. And then you do these. Close your eyes, open them. Look down hard at the carpet without moving your head, one direction or the other. Come back to the center. Make your eyes look down at the carpet in the other direction. Come back to center. Let your eyes follow an imaginary large clock. So bring your eyes down and let your eyes move very slowly, like it's following a big clock. Try not to move your head too much. And remind yourself what you're working on, by the way. Feeling too scattered to do this project. When you get back down to the bottom, go the other direction. Feeling too scattered and unfocused to do this project. Let your eyes go around. There's real brain science as to why these eye movements and the next couple of things really get that part of the brain into action for you right now. And the last two things while you're hitting this point, this tapping point, involve left and right brain. You know, if you do something logical, that's the left brain. If you do something creative, that's the right brain. So this gets both sides of the brain really involved in accomplishing your goal here. So you're gonna hum about 5 seconds of something like zippity doo dah. So it would be like this. Next, you're going to count out loud to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then do that humming again. Okay, so those are the essential pieces of a tapping routine. What I'm going to recommend, though, in review is that you approach it like this. You take a nice relaxation breath before you start. You score your distress 0 to 10. And then you do that karate chop and say the full setup statement that we did in the beginning. You say that 3 times while you're tapping on the karate chop point. And then you take your short phrase and go through all those tapping points I just showed you, including the hand, the gamut point. If you're going to do those 9 eye movements and zippity-doo-dah, do it then, right here while you're working on the gamut point. And then leave it alone. Don't go back to those 9 eye movements anymore. Because you really need to go back and one more time go around all these points. Okay? You do not have to return to the karate chop. That is the only point, by the way, that has to be done first. Research was done on this, and when they left out this karate chop point, the results weren't as good. So it doesn't matter if you get the other ones out of order. Do the karate chop point first with your setup statement. Go around the body with your shortened phrase, including the back of the hand. Optional about the 9 other movements, but go around the body one more time. At that point, you should take another good breath and reassess how distressed you are. So if it was a 10 before that, you know, I'm so unfocused and scattered, I can't get this project done. After these rounds of tapping, you should stop now and say, you have to take a guess about what does it feel, how distressed am I now? Maybe it's a 6. You have to kind of just take a stab at it, what you feel like as you think about that problem. If it's not below a 5, I would do another round on the eyes, the body ones, okay? You don't have to do the karate chop again. Go another 3rd cycle if needed. Try to get it down under 5, okay? And then when you are finally in that range, finish with another deep relaxation breath, which, by the way, you can see on another video on my website about relaxation breaths. And that should be a good, complete tapping routine. This is Lorene O'Brien, licensed mental health counselor with Wesley Chapel Counseling. To learn more about this tapping technique and other mind-body techniques, you can go to my website, wesleychapelcounseling.com, where you'll find a tab called Wellness Tools, where you can learn more about this technique and others. There is actually a handout you can download when you get to this page. So get tapping.